You know, I was thinking about what I wanted to say today, and I thought I would tell you a little story about somebody that we work with. At Catholic Charities, we operate the homeless outreach team. In fact, Catholic Charities leads Danbury's efforts to end homelessness. Our outreach team goes out and tries to find people who are in the woods, engage them in services, and get them off the streets. But Danbury is a large city and has a lot of rural parts, a lot of wooded areas, and we can't always find everyone. We participate in a process at Danbury Hospital called the Community Care Team, which identifies people who are high utilizers of the emergency room and often are also homeless. And in that meeting, they brought up a gentleman, and we'll call him Michael. Michael was a man in his 50s, had been living very deep in the woods for the last several years. We didn't even know he existed. But through the process at the hospital, we were able to engage with him and meet with him. His case manager's name is Awilda, and she worked with him to get medical care, consistent medical care. We were able to get him a housing voucher, and we were very excited because he was going to move into his own apartment, which he hadn't had in years. One day he was riding his bike and was struck by a vehicle, and he died. And we were absolutely heartbroken because we had such high hopes for him, and we had wanted to see him succeed. And we had done everything right, and that wasn't the outcome we were anticipating, and it's very hard when we lose somebody. About a week after he passed, she told me the story, Awilda, that she had taken him to an appointment, and afterwards she wanted a cup of coffee. So she asked him if he would join her at the coffee shop. And he couldn't believe that she would take him out for a cup of coffee. So when they're sitting in the coffee shop, he was telling her that the last several years of living outside, he knew that his clothes weren't very clean, that he couldn't maintain his beard, that his hair looked dirty. And he saw the way people looked at him, and maybe more accurately, saw the way people didn't look at him, and the way they would walk around him, and that he had begun to feel like he was part of the sidewalk. He wasn't a person of value. But when we started paying attention to him, when we started helping him, he started to feel like a human being again. I think I cried when she told me that. But it really reminded me of who we are as an agency. We remind people that they have value. We remind people that they should have hope, that they are more than the circumstances that they find themselves in. And we don't do that alone. We work in partnership with the hospital, with the city of Danbury, with other great nonprofits. And we do that with all of you, because by being a sponsor, by buying a table, by putting money in your envelopes on the table, you're telling people that they have value, that they should have hope, and that they're more than the circumstances they find themselves in. So I want to say the largest thank you I possibly can for continuing year after year to supporting the efforts of Catholic Charities. It means so much, not just to those of us who work here, but to the community at large. We are making Greater Danbury a better day, a better place to live, and I just really want to thank all of you for that. So thank you very much.